Hey everyone, Honey Lily here, and today we are on part 6 of Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York. I hope everyone is doing amazing today, and I can't wait to get into whatever we have to get into today, so let's go. You know what to expect when you return to the small bookstore serving as Agathon's haven. The cacophony of occult imagery assaults you from the books covers displayed on the windows, but under the fake facade there's something real. This time, the Buddhas and the satanic Bibles of the storefront seem almost funny, or perhaps you've just started to tune into the dry humor of these Tremere. Just as you're about to ring the doorbell, the door opens and Agathon storms out. You step aside, just in time to avoid having him stumble into you. Jack, what are you doing here? I came to help you. Hey, don't be a dick, or window shopping. Hey, don't be a dick. Please stop giving me a hard time. Why are you being such a dick? I came to help you. Agathon looks at your outburst in surprise. Keep your emotions under control, otherwise you're no use to me. Now let's go. Agathon walks to his car with you in tow. It didn't occur to you last time, but it's a surprisingly pedestrian vehicle, an aging mid-sized family sedan. You imagine what it would look like with a baby seat in the back. Opening the door on the driver's side, Agathon notices your look. Bluff all you want, but it's inconspicuous and practical. You sit in the car and Agathon starts driving in his usual careful style. At least he'll never be stopped by traffic cops. It seems Agathon is not interested in small talk. So we have three choices here. What's this all about? Beautiful night or stay silent? I kind of want to irritate him a little. So I'd go with beautiful night, do small talk, because that usually irritates people that just want to be on their own. On a beautiful night like this, it's not too bad being kindred. Agathon turns slowly to look at you, both hands on the wheels in exactly the same position you remember a driving instructor demonstrate to you long ago. Please don't attempt to make small talk. I don't care whether the night is beautiful or miserable. The true energies shaping our world are invisible anyways. You exit Manhattan over the Brooklyn Bridge and soon reach the site of the nightclub that seems to be your destination. It's on the riverfront, a converted former warehouse. With the start, you recognize the place. The club where fate latched its cold, grubby hands onto your soul. You wanted to party, but instead you became a monster. How's that for a hangover? After Agathon parks the car, it's time for you to enter the nightclub. You glance at the Tremere, evaluating him. It's obvious this is not his kind of place. There's a good chance the research notes are here. Research notes? So it's not certain, or let's go. I say straight to business, let's go. Let's not waste any time. Excellent. There's a line into the club. It looks like a popular spot, even if, based on the crowd, this is not exactly a place for supermodels and celebrities. Either we wait in line or we use our presence, charm the bouncer. Let's go with charm the bouncer. So you walk up to the man at the door and smile. Hey, you remember me, right? Mind if we go in? The bouncer looks at you, taken in by your supernatural charisma. It doesn't matter whether he really remembers you or not. Sure, go right in. Have a great night. You walk into the club, ignoring all the people standing in line. The music beats down on you, bringing with it memories of human existence. The first time you went dancing with friends, when you flirted with someone on the dance floor. This time it's different. You're a predator and everyone around you is prey. Tightly packed, twitching sacks of blood and tissue. Hey Lady Cliss, how are you? So glad to see you here today. How have you been? You're good? How am I? I am doing great. We had a beautiful day yesterday outside. Been glowing yesterday, yes. It was definitely a day where it was super sunny. We had so much fun. I honestly did anyways. So, hope you did too. Yeah, we went around and we did some mini golfing and stuff like that. Yeah, it really was. I got a bit of color in me. I had not got really that much so far. Well, I'm so glad to hear. I'm so happy you're here. So we're in a club right now and we're with Agathon, which is the Tremere, and we're stirring up some shit. So let's do this. Glad you had fun with your family. Today is quite suffocating. Really? Well, I don't know. I haven't gone outside and I have the ACs on, so I'm kind of frozen a little bit right now, but I'm not going to complain. Absolutely not. You sense the emotions all around you, blood tinted with happiness, lust, rage, jealousy, love, a buffet of sensations. Focus. Keep an eye out for trouble while I look for what we came to find. It's like 100% humidity. Yeah, so true. You nod and follow Agathon's through the strong, trying to ignore all the warmth, flesh, and circulating blood around you. Ooh, let's go for a feeding opportunity. Definitely. So, feeding opportunity. We need blood. Hey, Demon. How are you? Hope you're doing amazing. You decided that the opportunity to feed has been handed to you and it would be churlish to refuse. Ah, you're good. That's great. A young Latino man is dancing close to a beautiful drugged out girl. She takes his face in her hands and kisses him on the mouth. You slide close to them and sink your teeth into the man's neck. He moans from the pleasure of the kiss, and the girl assumes it's because of her. You check to see that nobody is watching and lick the wound closed before disengaging and returning to look for Agathon. You find a young, intense woman pointing a finger at her face. The club is well done. I love the old statues and columns. I agree. I really like it. The images of every single scenery right now I find is beautiful. Juno. Agathon, you traitor, don't you dare stand between me and what's mine. You look at the woman in surprise. Her appearance stands in contrast with the anger in her words. Juno, you know Ailing will not let you leave with the notes. Perhaps she won't let you leave at all. Juno pulls close to Agathon's face and stage whispers loudly enough for you to hear her over the music. You're still so brainwashed that you care about what Ailing fucking Sturbridge wants. I'm done jumping through her hoops. I don't know what I saw in you, Agathon. You're such a lapdog. I don't know, I just feel like she has that kind of bitchy voice. Brainwashed? Let's not forget the masquerade, or she's your ex. I just go straight to business. Let's not forget the masquerade. Look, are we sure we want to talk about all this in the middle of the dance floor? Do I look like I care about the fucking masquerade? You look at Juno in genuine shock. From Sophie, you've understood that the masquerade is universal among the kindred. Juno, you don't mean that. You're not suicidal. Fucking watch me. Juno, please. Juno steps back, suddenly cold, ignoring the people dancing all around. She stares hard at Agathon. The past is past. The traditions are dead to me. You won't stop me, Agathon. I'll make sure of that here and now. You know, I have the power. No, Juno, please. Agathon sounds panicked. He's not worried about his own survival, but the possibility that Juno is going to unleash a genuine masquerade breach. Reason with Juno, sucker punch Juno, or calm Juno down. For the sake of the masquerade and to help Agathon, I would go with calm Juno down. We did just feed as well, so I feel comfortable with doing that. Let's do that. Calling on the powers of your blood, you step close to Juno between her and Agathon. Agathon was being an asshole. Don't hurt yourself to get back at him. He's not worth it. Juno looks you in the eye, and you can see that she's tired and scared. Defecting from the Tremere is not easy or safe. You're right. She turns to go, then stops and glances back at you. You should pick better friends. With that, Juno walks through the oblivious dancers towards the exit. Looking around, he realized that Agathon didn't stay to witness your exchange with Juno. Instead, he worked his way around the dancing crowd, looking for the notes using his arcane methods. After Juno is gone, he returns, shaking his head. The notes were here, but not anymore. It's possible someone grabbed them when they hunted here. After making sure Juno is nowhere to be seen, you and Agathon push your way back outside. Outside, you walk to Agathon's car and drive back over the Brooklyn Bridge to Manhattan, heading for Agathon's haven. Hey everyone, I can't stay, but I'll come back later and lurk in the meantime. Hopefully I'll be back soon enough. Hey, no problem, Lord G6. How are you? I hope you're doing amazing. And no problem at all. I really appreciate that you're here. Thank you so much. And take your time, especially. I know you're busy. It's all good. Juno mentioned some very personal things. I trust your discretion is not discussing those things with Ailing. Do I say of course, or I won't lie? If I don't lie, like me, my true nature, my person, I don't lie. Well, I try not to. And when I do, I feel shitty about it, so I usually come forth. But in this game, and for the sake of the game, I think if we keep it to ourselves, I think he can owe us something down the line, maybe if it's a necessity, so let's just say of course. Your love life is your business. Thank you. After a while, you reach Agathon's haven, and he parks the car. You walk into the occult bookstore, and Agathon invites you inside. The smell of incense assaults you as before, making you grateful you don't have to breathe. That's really funny. You follow Agathon upstairs to find Ailing Stunbridge in an armchair reading an old book. She puts a bookmark in place as you come in. You were successful, I hope. No, I'm sorry. The notes were there at some point, but not anymore. That's a shame. I hope you don't run out of time. How did Sophie's little protege do? Agathon turns to look at you. These fledglings come and go. Let's see after a few years. Very true. I'll have to ask Sophie why she took this one in. She must have a reason. We met Juno. Fortunately, she couldn't find the notes either. That's interesting. The High Regent turns to look at you. Agathon's ex, driven or angry? Driven? She's very driven, motivated. I don't think she'll desist easily. You're probably right. Juno could have made a great member of our house in different circumstances. Instead, she became a headache. You'll understand if you have a child of your own some night, fledgling. Anyways, I have some things to discuss with Agathon. Run along now. You leave the occult bookstore, the cheesy mystical music still in your ears as you walk away. You wonder about what happened with Juno. Why is she so anxious to leave her clan? Can she really do that? Could you leave Sophie's service if you wanted to? Well, I wouldn't try it, because she literally wants to kill you if you would. So, do we have a choice to no? We have to rest. It's true, eh? Night and day. There we go. Knock, knock. You'd ask who's there, but you don't know if the sheriff of New York City would play along. When you open the door, you see him toying with the car keys he's holding in his hand. Ready to go, fledgling? You don't feel like it, but you give him a nod nevertheless. Excellent. Stay close. He leads you down the vehicle he parked nearby. Once again, he takes the wheel, literally and figuratively. Everything inside is just the way you remember it, down to the rear view mirror, reflecting the intense stare of your guide. However, the trip itself feels notably different. The last time Kadzir drove you around, he was forcibly dragging you away from your old life. This time, he's pulling you back into it. All the things you wanted to say to Jessica keep running through your head. Let me tell you how it's going to go. As I said, I've arranged a meeting between you and your kin. It's going to take place somewhere you should know very well. I'll watch over you two from a safe distance and make sure you adhere to the rules. You should know those very well, but I'll reiterate just so you can't ever say I didn't warn you. Don't do anything that would violate the masquerade. Don't establish some secret routes of contact. I will know. Do treat it as the last time you two will meet. Take this chance to wrap everything up. It's true, eh? We're going to see his ex. Here's your story. You're fine, found yourself at a crossroad, decided to radically change your life, and moved out of this city. The subway is unbearable. The rent is too high. They've heard it all. You were ready to leave New York for good when you heard those absurd rumors about taking your own life, so you've decided to set the record straight. He gives you a knowing look and close the curtains on your relationship, once and for all, on your terms. The car makes a sudden turn. I'll leave the finer details to you. Just be so kind and don't make me regret it. You can sense he's going out of his way for you, but doesn't try to force you into gratitude by stating it plainly. If you know, you know. He'll see if you are worthy of his aid. We're here. You take a look around and recognize your destination. He was right. It was a familiar place. It's that club. The one you met your future sire in while trying to forget about Jess. This is where they last saw poor Jack. Who knows whatever might have happened to him. One Jessica Lowell is trying to find out. She got a tip from an anonymous source saying that you might appear here tonight. Wouldn't want to disappoint the lady, would you? She's apparently quite distraught. He turns off the engine and relaxes comfortably in his seat. You silently leave the car and head towards the club. The last time you were headed this way, you still had a pulse. Feels almost nostalgic. There's a party getting started and some rookie DJ is trying to read the crowd. You begin to look for Jess. You wonder what's the first thing you say to her should be. So what's the first thing we say? Hey, how are you doing? You really took me for the suicidal type, or why did you let me die? I'm going for the second one. You really took me for the suicidal type? Yeah, that should work. The music is pulsing and there are good vibes in the air. You spot a girl hurrying to the bathroom with a nosebleed. The smell is faint, but it gets you in the mood to have some fun. However, Kazuya indicated that he's got a pair of eyes around here somewhere. Better stick to the plan. A stupid idea pops into your head. If you meet her and she says, I want to be with you again, what would you do? Find a way for her to become a vampire, have one last good night before leaving, or reject the idea immediately. I want to reject it because I want to keep her safe. What's done is done. Best not dwell on it. By now it feels like you've explored all the places Jess could have been. It's getting frustrating. You grab the cheapest drink they have from the bar. A tall, blonde girl in a stylish skirt smiles at you from behind heart-shaped glasses. You smile back. But this is no time for the heart to guide the hand. You walk past her, back to your duty. You mimic taking a sip of your drink. God, you could have been having so much fun tonight. You could accidentally stumble into Jessica when you're least expected. She looks at you as if she's seen a ghost. You freeze up, trying to come up with something to say and failing. The last few years of your life flash before your eyes. Wait, what was the line you decided to open the conversation with? Before you remember, a powerful slap takes you out of your stupor. You stupid motherfucker! Guess she gets the first line. You realize you spilled your drink all over your clothes. I've been so worried. I've been so fucking worried. Called everyone I knew to look for you. And you're just having fun clubbing? You thought it would be funny to drop all contact with everyone, pretend something happened to you? What, you wanted to see my reaction? She slaps you once again. You let some sort of dissociation set in and just watch the situation as it unfolds. I'll let everybody know you're okay, but don't you ever show yourself in front of me again. She turns her back on you, disappears into the crowd, walking towards the exit. You look around, you notice the heart-shaped glass girl chuckling in the distance. You're no longer in the mood to party. Guess you'll follow Jessica's lead and leave. Better not keep the sheriff waiting. Well, at the very least, you can say this. She still cares. That's nice. Back to Kazuya's car. Once you close the door, he instantly puts his foot on the gas pedal. Walking off the pitch with no regret, said everything you had to say. You speak up without thinking. Yeah, she said she'll call off the search. Getting her to accept that it was over took some harsh words, but deep down, I think she knew it was time to say farewell once and for all. She's a little shaken up, but she'll live. You spot a playful spark in Kazuya's eyes. You took care of it like a man, did you? Very good. The people we knew in life have this tendency to briefly reappear in our unlives. One night, let's say 20 years from now, she might spot you on the street. You won't have aged a day from now, and even though she'll tell herself that can't be you, she'll be jealous. And if you look happy, she will feel regret over what could have been. So for the sake of the night your paths cross once again, I hope you'll search for your own happiness. The car speeds up and to cross an intersection before the light turns red. You give Kazuya a good, hard look. Why are you not mean to me? Thank you, or good job with setting it all up? Let's just go with good job setting it all up. You've done a good job setting all of this up. He chuckles, visibly proud. If I could handle something this easy, I wouldn't be holding my position, but... Then he takes on a serious, slightly sorrowful expression. Don't suck up to me, kid. Mr. Bad Guy is still here, and without a doubt, he will go back to decapitating suckers like you anytime now. I love Kaze. He's cool. The car starts slowing down. We're here. You look out the window and see your haven. Take care. I'll see you around. Just pray I don't have to see you too often. You leave the car and start walking to your haven, thinking about Kaze. Can't say you're fond of him. Well, I am. What with the welcome he gave you and all, but after tonight, you can't say you aren't either. Exactly. You're gonna need some more time to understand him, that's for sure. So, I'm going to take a quick second, and I will be back in a quick minute. Hold on. I will leave you to Demon to say hi.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the Sunday edition of Honey Lily's Interlude. So how's everyone doing today? Okay. So I like how the story is progressing so far, and we're starting to get a few answers, but there's still a lot of things yet to discover. Hopefully we'll be successful in discovering everything that we need to know. One thing that I think would be really cool about this game is if they actually had, when you see someone get murdered, they actually have like a kind of like a little cinematic giving, you know, us kind of an idea how the person was taken out in the game. Hopefully in the new game that comes out next year, they'll actually do that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed your brief time with Demon Unleashed, and have a good day.
Hey everyone, I am back. I have to remember to not drink so much water before my streams. Okay, so let's see, who do we want to visit? We either go back to Agathon, kind of bored with him right now. Ooh, somebody's watching part 2. I kind of want to see that. A nosy reporter, faith and myth. Let's get that one out of the way. It's my least exciting one. You've started to look at the churches differently, not sure what happened inside, but it was unavoidably real. You felt it. When Benoit mentioned that being in the presence of the Father Anthony's faith would eventually kill someone like you, an undead being, I was like Bena, an undead being, you'll believe him. It doesn't seem to be very common though. In New York, you pass thousands of people every night, and none of them have made you feel so afraid and insignificant. If you were to encounter someone like Father Anthony in the subway or a nightclub, you would know. There are many churches in the 5 boroughs, and you're pretty sure most of them don't contain someone whose faith can touch you in this way. Yet you've become wary. They just might. Still tonight the cathedral looks as before, a striking landmark acting as a symbol of faith for people who have no idea the vampire exists in their midst. For them, questioning of faith and myth are theoretical and philosophical. For you, those same questions suddenly define the meaning of your new existence. You sneak into the cathedral like an old hand, as if going to church had been a regular part of your life. Inside the cathedral is almost deserted. You're not sure if you'll be meeting Benoit alone. The idea of feeling Father Anthony's faith on your undead flesh freezes you with terror. Benoit is waiting for you in the front pews of the cathedral in the exact same spot where you saw Father Anthony. Worried, you approach, but you don't feel the touch of faith that shook you before. Benoit nods as you sit next to him in the pew. Aren't you worried? I have so many questions, or many kindred wonder what we are. I'd go with the first one. Aren't you worried? Aren't you worried about meeting here? What if your friend the priest returns? Don't worry, he's not here tonight. You've had some time to think. I'm guessing you found the touch of Father Anthony's faith hard to ignore. For most people, God's presence is a question of faith. When I talk with Father Anthony, it feels like proof. Benoit is fervent, intense, and he speaks. It's clear these questions have consumed his existence. Perhaps they'll consume yours too. I can't stop thinking about the divine purpose. This is kindred culture, or what does the Camarilla believe? I'd go with more the Camarilla. What does the kindred of the Camarilla believe? The old ones. It's true, the elders are not always so good at teaching their child, or maybe the Camarilla would function better if we all knew these stories. Benoit looks around reflexively to make sure nobody is listening. There are only a few people in the enormous cathedral, and they don't seem to be interested in two loners murmuring to each other in the front pew. It might seem like ancient history, things that happened thousands of years ago, but time works differently for our kind. If the stories are true, there are Methuselahs still in existence who walked the earth when Jesus was alive. The only problem is that old vampires lie. They adjust history to suit their egos. You can talk to different elders. Surely something was written down, or let's focus on what we can verify. I'd go with let's focus on what we can verify. Shouldn't we focus on what we can verify here and now? Our blood, the effects of Father Anthony's beliefs? I suppose that would be the scientific approach. Still, I can't let go of the idea that the old stories will tell us something. This is how the story goes. God cursed Cain as punishment for the murder of Abel. Cain walked the night shunned by humanity and drank blood to sustain himself. Even from the point of our origin, we are damned. However, the story becomes really interesting when we move forward. Cain creates more of our kind and referred to as the second generation. Generation, the number of steps between a vampire and the mythical Cain, how far descended from the first a given vampire is. Low generation provides great power, but just as it does a stronger curse and hunger. They lived in the first city, later called Enoch, ruling openly over the city's human inhabitants. I see the first city as Cain's redemption, cursed by God to wander. He remade himself as a ruler and lawgiver, acting as an immortal shepherd to humanity. It only started to go wrong when the second generation begat the third, and vampires started to run amok. So the third generation, three dots, what happened to the first city, or vampires ruled over the humans? I would go to the third generation. So the third generation, also known as the Antediluvians, who founded the great vampire clans, you can trace a direct lineage of blood to the Antediluvians of your clan. The progenitors, members of the dreaded third generation and the founders of the 13 vampire clans. We know much more about them than we know about the second generation. After the first city, Cain largely departs the story. Perhaps he was disheartened disheartened by the depredations of his descendants. The antediluvians went on to build a second city in imitation of the first, but it's doubtful their rule was just. There are people moving in the cathedral, and both you and Benoit have made sure none get close enough to hear you talk. Many of the people you've seen have been elderly or disabled, so it's not surprising that you hear the squeak of a wheelchair. What alarms you more is that you overheard an older woman speaking with a Russian accent mention Father Anthony. Let's find Father Anthony and see if he can help us. From what I've heard, he's an exceptional man. You turn to look and see two men and a woman. All three are in their 50s, clearly well worn by life. One of the men pushes the woman in a wheelchair. She's dark-haired and intense, seemingly only half in his world. I'm really happy you chose myths and legends for VTM. Lord chose other options, so it's interesting to see the other stories. It's true, yeah, I agree. And, well, I didn't know what he had chosen. I didn't see it, but that's the one I decided to go with because it shows more of the history of VTM and where it comes from. So yeah, I find it interesting. Like, I know some of this already, but I really find it interesting that we're talking about it in the stream, so that's great. Yeah, exceptional, but he doesn't like moles. The speaker is shorter of the men, more animated and worried. He was probably a strong man in his youth, perhaps even an athlete. His voice carries a Midwestern accent. We're only interested in whether he likes blank bodies. What are they talking about? You and Benoit look at each other. This is bad news. Whoever these three are, they can't be good for you. We need to get out. Let's meet outside. Walk out right past the mortals, move discreetly to the side, or run out before they notice you. Let's go run out before they notice you. The blood grants you inhuman speed, and you decide to run out before they have a chance to notice you. You keep low and run your way to the side, stopping to take in your surroundings once you're in the shadows of the mighty pillar holding up the roof. Benoit had the exact same escape plan as you did, and you share a look before you continue running. Speed doesn't equal invisibility, not exactly. Still, none of the mortals inside the cathedral focus their attention on you. If they blink, you're already elsewhere. Another moment and you're outside, slowing down just in time to avoid looking suspicious as you emerge on the street. That was a close call. So we have three options here. Who were those three? Fuck you, Benoit, and you were quite fast. Well, you know what? Fuck you, Benoit. First time I meet you and there's the priest. Now we almost get busted by whoever those three were. I'm off. Before Benoit has time to answer, you start walking down the street. Whatever the real truth behind vampires and faith may be, they clearly bring too much trouble with them. Benoit calls after you. Please, this wasn't my intention. Come back. Walk on, you don't want to see Benoit again, or relent and turn around. This was like my least favorite storyline, but I don't know. Do we walk on or do we turn around? What do you think, Lady Cliss? I'm really like 50-50 between both, undecided. I would say, Okay, let's go with walk on. Benoit is right in that you have questions about your condition. Still, they're not worth getting killed over. You leave the cathedral and its mysteries behind you. Okay, that's done. Okay, we have no choice but to rest. Let's rest. Okay, now we can choose. Nosy Reporter Part 2. Somebody's watching me. Let's do Somebody's Watching Me. You're in your haven when the intercom rings. Answering cautiously, you hear the older male's voice. Hello, I'm calling because a friend asked me to come by and offer you my services. Who is this? What do you mean services? And who's this friend? What do you mean services? You know, services. You know what I'm talking about. The man sounds strangely excited, breathing hard. Is this a sex thing? I need something to go on, or you may have the wrong address. I need something to go on. She told me not to talk about these things in public. I know you're one of them. Please, it's all right. I don't mind. You can drink with me, if you understand what I mean. A man you've never seen before is paying a visit to an apartment not many people know of, offering you to feed from him. Let's continue this face to face. I don't drink with people I have never met, or I'm getting creeped out. I'm getting creeped out. I'm so sorry. Don't worry. I mean no harm. Silence. A minute passes and you hear a knock on the door to your haven. You cautiously open the door. A stranger looks at you sheepishly. He's in his 30s, dressed in a clean business suit. He looks moderately successful, someone you could meet at an investment bank. I'm sorry, I didn't want to intrude, so that's why I called from downstairs. Please leave. Please leave. I don't want to see you around here again, and tell whoever sent you they can come see me themselves instead of sending lackeys. Please, feed from me. It's all right, really. The man sounds desperate. Whatever this is about, you want no part of it. On second thought, come in. I'll break your face. I will definitely break his face. I'll break your face. I'll break your face if you don't turn around and disappear the way you came. Please, I'm sorry. The man turns around and runs down the hallway. He dashes into the stairwell and you hear him running down. Not a brave man, this guy. You're left to wonder what this is all about. Who is this guy and why did he show up trying to offer you his blood? I think that was a wise decision because we don't know who's sending him, and well, I didn't really like that part. So let's go with the Nosy Reporter Part 2. The weather is cold and windy as you walk to Sophie's apartment. As a vampire, that doesn't matter anymore. You may have been saddled with eternal hunger, but at least you can ignore the wind chill. We shoot away the good-looking man. Oh no. You know what? Yeah, he was, but at the same time, you know what? They're trouble sometimes, right? So we saved ourselves. That's what I like to think. Just as you come in the door of Sophie's building, she storms out, murmuring into her phone. Yes, I know. Don't worry. I trust you'd handle it. You've heard Sophie talk to her associates before. It's always the same. Generalities and vague suggestions. It makes you think she's involved in mysterious machinations, yet doesn't tell you anything. Sophie is dressed to kill, but there's nothing unusual in that. She likes to make an impression. A black car with tinted windows is waiting for her in front of the door. A chauffeur steps out to open the car door for her. Sophie notices you. I'm glad you're in the neighborhood. If you could look around for me one more time, that would be wonderful. You told me you'd gotten rid of that reporter. Turns out he's still here, snooping around. Sophie is very good at communicating disappointment. She doesn't have to do much to make it clear that she's unhappy to have to return to this issue. I thought he was gone. I'm sorry. I'll take care of it. I'll definitely say I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. After tonight, he won't trouble you anymore. Good. Don't disappoint me. The reporter talked his way into the building during the day. Once the doorman understood what was happening, he threw him out. He showed old pictures of me to my neighbors. It's very awkward, you understand. Sophie disappears into the car and the chauffeur closes the door behind her. You watch the sleek vehicle disappear into the Manhattan traffic, just one anonymous car among many. Best sit down somewhere and devise a plan of action. You go to the nearby diner, settle in a booth, and order a coffee from the steely-eyed Latina waitress. As she brings you your cup, you describe Frank Doggery to her on the off chance she's seen something. Just as she's about to answer, you happen to look outside. Something catches your eye. The diner is brightly lit, so you lean closer to the window to see the street through it. You got lucky. Frank is standing on the sidewalk on the other side of the street, looking at something on his phone. You slide out of the booth, throwing a few small bills at the table, mumbling something to the waitress. You step outside. You follow Frank covertly, or you yell at Frank, telling him to stop. I'd say let's be a little discreet because we're in the middle of the road here, so we follow Frank. For a reporter, Frank isn't terribly observant. You keep your distance, hiding behind people and cars, but he doesn't look around. It seems like he wants to find a private nook to inspect. The photos he took tonight. Oh, he's got pictures. An alley. He ducks in, and you follow. Oh my God, it's you. Please don't hurt me. Frank cradles his new camera in his arms, terrified of what you will do to him. I'm not a violent person. You've made a mistake, or be smart. Let's go with be smart. Don't worry, last time you were stupid, but this time you won't be, right? Right, please. Just tell me what you want. Why are you here? Your employer trusts you too much, or I thought we agreed there's no story. How come you're here? I thought we agreed there's no story. Usually when someone says there's no story, that means there is a story. I just couldn't let it go. Look, I don't want any trouble. I can see that you're serious. There is something to Sophie Langley. I think you know what it is. You take a long, hard look at Frank Dougherty. He's a tenacious man, but not brave. After the last time you met, you were sure he had been dealt with. Where did he find the courage to come here again? Is this worth the pain? What's your real angle? Or don't you have better stories to chase? Don't you have better stories to chase? Don't you have better stories to investigate? Corruption, financial fraud, political scandals? That's the kind of story I used to do before I lost everything. For a second, Frank looks lost. Like a little boy who doesn't know where to go. Then he recovers. But you can't keep me down. I'm a reporter to my dying breath. Hell, if I didn't have this job, I'd start to blog and do it for free. Anything to get the facts out. You almost believe it, but something about Frank feels off. Do you have a personal interest in this? Is this about blackmail or trust in your blood to convince Frank? Trust to convince him. You don't say anything at first. It's easy to dismiss Frank as a joke, a has-been. Yet, there's something beneath his talk, another story. A moment of silence is all you need for your presence to properly register in Frank's mind. He's too weak-willed to resist. Someone's leaning on you. Frank, come clean. What? No, absolutely not. Frank's voice sounds shrill. You know you got it right in one guess. Sometimes I just need some extra money, that's all. Where does this extra money come from? Now we're finally getting somewhere, or was that so difficult, Frank? Was that so difficult, Frank? There's a guy, he's paying me, that's all, but I can't talk about that. Oh, drink Frank dry, push Frank for information, offer Frank to work for you, or intimidate Frank. Do we want a dead body on our hands? I'm not sure. We know someone knows that he's there, so it would not be smart to do that. If I use more blood, I could have the monster come up in that. Push Frank for information. Come on, you can give me more than that. No, really. Even I don't know all that much about these people. What do your instincts tell you? Do they pay you, or why are they interested? What do your instincts? He's a reporter. Let's see what he says. You're a reporter. What do your instincts tell you? I'm not sure. I can't get a handle on them. I don't think it's blackmail or business rival or an ex. Okay, that's enough. I can't tell you anything more. You got to consider the position I'm in. We're not done. Don't come here a third time. Ditch those guys you work for. We're not done. We're not done, Frank. Fine, I'll leave her alone. I'm done with this. It was a bullshit anyways. You can tell Sophie Langley that you won't see me anymore. As Frank leaves the alley, you consider your victory. He sounded defeated, sincere. Is it really up to him whether he returns or not? I don't know. I kind of feel like he's going to be back. I don't like him. Okay, I have to rest. Let's rest. Okay, so I've been really looking forward to the following of Hope, so let's do that. When you get to the internet cafe, Hope is already waiting for you out front. The sight catches you off guard. A part of you suspects that she might be more of a shut-in. My haven is my castle type. At Schumacher 2002. Perfect timing. We need to go for a ride. Get in, get in, get in. She doesn't wait for your response and jumps behind the wheel of a lavender vintage roadster instead. The engine starts roaring expectantly, causing everyone's head to turn. Not wanting to attract needless attention, you quickly slip into the back seat of the car. The moment you shut the door behind you, the vehicle sets off, tires screeching. Sorry for not bringing you up to speed first, but hey, this is New York City. Everyone's always in a rush, and this is even more true when you're kindred. Now, allow me to take care of some business, and I'll be right with you. Even as she's zooming through traffic, she's still on her phone, of course. Nice car? Watch the road, please, or what's your business? I'll just go with nice car. Nice car. How do you afford that? Thank you. The lavender really brings out this character, doesn't it? About affording things in this city, it's pretty hard. You gotta be at the top of your game at all times. Might as well explain my business plan to you while I'm at it. So another extremely online malk based in New York goes by the name of Dev Null. Told me to Google Ethereum a few years ago. That's how I got into Bitcoin. And I found a new religion. 23-year-olds selling visions of governments replaced by benign code and decentralized consensus. Masses ruled by algorithms as just as the law of physics. Sorry, I'm like psychics. Idiot man-child investors trying to shape their realities through sheer fanatical zeal. And dedicated collectors of things as abstract as rare SHA 256 decryptions. Her driving style is far more aggressive and dangerous than you're comfortable with. Is it just you, or does she peek into the rear view mirror more often than she looks straight ahead? Yeah, looking at this picture, she's definitely staring at us. A hyper-speculative environment where nothing has real value, only abstract belief matters, and your life saving can be ruined by a single bullshit tweet. How could I refuse the allure? I started buying low and selling high on a variety of shady 24/7 exchanges that allowed me 100 times leverage, as in they'd lend me 100 times the capital I could bet with. I got lucky at the beginning and kept the ball rolling, shorting and longing, impulsively, recklessly. I got to the point where I became too big to fail, and that's when I cashed out. The car comes to an abrupt halt. You bump up against the seat in front of you. Okay, this story will be continued later. We're here, right at our first stop. I'll need you to do me a favor. Where? What favor or first stop? Let's say what favor. Favor? What favor? Nothing too difficult. Literally a jump in, jump out kind of deal. Seen that weird guy in a Yankees cap standing out of the corner? Approach him, tell him you're young, hot, petite ingenue. Take the phone he gives you and bring it here. Get going, honey. It's... Oh, she's calling me honey. She knows. Get going, honey. It's legal to park here. You jump out of the car and approach the man Hope has pointed out. Not a lot you can tell about him based on his appearance, aside from the fact he seems pretty shady. The guy assumes a comically threatening pose as you approach him. The hell you want? I'm at Young Hot Petite Ingenue. I'm here for a phone. I'll just say the first one. Oh, no offense, but I kind of expected a girl. I mean, no, yeah, my bad for assuming. Damn. He takes the phone out of his pocket and covertly passes it to you. Everything has been prepared and preloaded according to your instructions. Should take about 2 minutes to transfer the data. Now get out of here. The man walks away with an exaggerated hip-hop gait. You jump back into Hope's car. She immediately steps on the gas. You got the phone? You're the best. Pass it to me, please. She connects the two smartphones using a cable and begins some sort of data transfer. Looks like it's an identical model. After a minute or so, the process is complete. Alright, goodbye, lovely. You've served me well. Hope opens the car window, grabs her old phone. You're not an expert enough to recognize the exact model, but it definitely looks like it had an $800 price slapped on it. And tosses it out the window. Surprised, you look behind you and see a car in the opposite lane run over the abandoned device. Hope notices your quizzical look. I've been needing a lot of burner phones lately, and I'm not going to use some cheap piece of shit, so it's a pretty expensive necessity. Intersection, red light. She takes advantage of the moment to shoot a driving selfie that strategically excludes her face and upload it to Instagram. You notice her handle there is Versace Beauty. Now, I was telling you a story. Bitcoin, cashing out, or getting rich? Oh, cashing out. Right. At some point towards the end of the 2017, I became convinced I needed to cash out. There was no way the bubble was going to last forever. I always knew there would be no grapes of wrath for the cryptocurrency era. It would have to be a series of profoundly antisocial, disconnected events. The whole crypto culture was a decentralized church of lone millennials who rejected all established modern value and kept atoning for the original sin of not buying Bitcoin back in 2013. Another abrupt last-second turn. You were pressed against the window. What the hell is it with her driving style? But a life you never wanted to live anyways and get a chance to win a priceless pile of nothing. Untether yourself from all worldly desires. Find joy in suicidal ideation. To this day, money holds no real value for me. It's an abstract as a video game score. A bunch of numbers on the screen. This joyless world changed me forever. I knew I had to escape. So I took my piles of fictional dollars to the new arena, elite New York City social circles. Not because I wanted to scam them and make them more, but because I wanted to finally have some goddamn fun. I mean, of course I had to scam them in the process, but it was only in service of becoming something more than a star, a constellation. Ah, that's kind of cute. I like that. About becoming something more than a star, a constellation. I like that. Another abrupt stop, this time next to the entrance of a shifty-looking back alley. Alright, friend. This time you're at Leaky Gut Syndrome, whistleblower extraordinaire. Whenever a press sneak fuck wants to leak, you've got it? Got it. Sorry for putting you out there in my place, but I only personally contact people as last resort. It gets harder to protect my identity each time I show my face. And since I've got you, our man is waiting for you in this back alley. He's paying back a favor with a flash drive containing crucial information we need to stay safe in this city. Retrieve it, I will circle the area, make sure we aren't in danger right now. When you're done, get back here and I'll pick you up. Everything clear? Good. You exit the car and see it drive away in a hurry. Then head to the narrow passageway. Sure enough, there's a man waiting for you at the end of the back street. Unshaven, wearing wrinkled clothes with a nervous eye tick, he looks even dodgier than the last guy you met. When you approach, he gives you a mean look. Oh. Okay. You're lost to something? I'm Leaky Gut Syndrome. You said you've got a little something that might interest me? Of course. Straight to the point, aren't you? Alright then. Clumsily, he produces a USB stick from his front shirt pocket and holds it before your face. When you reach out to take it, he pulls his hand back and gives you a sly grin. Getting all this data was risky. You know, Miss Montgomery is an unusually secretive person. Digging up dirt on her took more effort than I expected. Effort that should be rewarded, I think. The more you ask around about her, the more you expect a letter saying, give up your inquiries which are completely useless. At your doorstep, perhaps attached to severed cat head. You catch my drift? The secrecy surrounding her screams, friend in high places, brave new world order, Illuminati shit, you know? Makes me think I deserve some hazard pay. Refuse and bluff, start walking away, or agree with him. I don't play with these guys, so I'm just going to start walking away. You try to imagine what Hope would do if she were in your place. Then you simply turn away and start walking back where you came from, calmly, wordlessly, no negotiations. Just as you're about to walk out of his sight, you hear an annoyed grunt behind you. All right. I shouldn't have put you on the spot like that. My bad, okay? Get back here. You turn around and look at the journalist expectantly. He sighs in and extends hands, holding a flash drive towards you again. You take it. Oh yeah, one more thing. Not really sure what it's about, but one of my informants claims you might be interested in this. He reaches out his inner jacket pocket and presents you with something wholly unexpected. It's a bag of blood, labeled simply ABRH. You take a closer look, but that doesn't answer any of your questions that just appeared in your mind. You peek into the journalist's cold blue eyes and see them twitch uncontrollably. Don't ask me. They said you'll know what to do with it, leaky gut. Come on, take it. Accept the blood? Feeding opportunity to drink his blood? I'm just gonna accept the blood. Fine, I'll take it. You grab the bag. Anything else? Yeah, I don't think so. Thanks for your cooperation. Because, I mean, this is for the girl, it's not for me. Another eye twitch and awkward silence. You hide the blood bag under your clothes and leave in the alley the way you came. Hope's car appears behind the corner just as you walk out onto the street. Doesn't even fully stop when you approach, but slows down just enough so that you can jump in. The moment you close the door, she leans into the gas pedal with her full strength, causing the engine to roar. Her driving style definitely doesn't reflect how laid back she seems as a person. You've got it? You throw the flash drive onto the seat next to her. Perfect! Any problems? How did the meeting go? You relate the entire back alley encounter to her. Towards the end of the story, you notice she's not staring at the road or her phone, but directly at your face. The realization startles you. You've got that bag of blood with you? You place it on the seat next to her. She peeks at the label. She looks at it again. Then she steps on the brakes. Fuck! Fuck, 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 fuck! I'm okay. She grabs both the bags and flash drive you've obtained and throws them out of the window. Looks like that's her favorite method of taking care of problems. That bag was a message. AB negative used to be my blood type. It's the rarest one, found in less than 1% of the United States population. Glad you didn't drink it. Who knows what they've done to the bag? Some New York City vets can tell you wild stories about using irradiated blood to locate and kill other kindred. Seriously? Glad I didn't drink from him. Me too. Haha. Better safe than done. Better safe than sorry. Yeah. Still, I wonder if they would have done anything to his blood. That would be some kind of 5-dimensional chess move. But yeah, this contact is compromised and needs to be cut off. Goodbye, my journalist frenemy, and goodbye, dear at Leaky Gut Syndrome. You've both outlived your usefulness. After a brief period of hesitation, she deletes the whistleblower extraordinaire account and sighs. Another one bites the dust. I've got another story to finish. I was talking about Bitcoin, and then where did I stop? Scamming constellations or New York City elites. Scamming. Oh, right. You know who saw the real face of the city? Anna Delvey. Ever heard of her? A Russian working-class girl born as Anna Sorokin. She moved to New York in 2013 and convinced everyone that she was this insanely rich trust fund kid, a wealthy German heiress. Manhattan elites totally fell for it, and they bought it for years while she swindled them. She only got arrested in 2017 after having stolen almost $300,000. Wow. Sorokin created her Delvey persona out of thin air, convinced everyone that she was going to set up an art fund, and kept tasting all of life's finest pleasures while being basically broke. She even made up a fake family financial advisor, then killed him off when he became a liability. And apparently most of her rich victims never admitted to being scammed out of shame. By now you're sure, the way she scrutinizes her surroundings, her reckless driving, she's trying to escape somebody. Now Delvey's locked up with murderers in Rikers, writing her memoirs, apparently picking a lot of fights. Bless her heart, she'll forever be an inspiration. But I have most advantage than she ever did. I have my own considerable funds, and I can rely on many more made-up people than just some old-ass financial advisor. A whole bunch of fake content creators and influencers that every rich dumbass wants to get in touch with and collaborate. Makes it super easy to earn more money than I invest. You've seen it firsthand, both as a deceiver and the deceived. It's a city of illusions, make non-existent money, come up with a fictional status, play nonsensical Camarilla games. And one day, you might just find yourself at the top. Alright, we're reaching our last stop. You look around, you're coming up on a parking garage. You're going to take an elevator to the 70th floor, give the masked man you meet in front of you in front of the door this memory card. It contains an art house movie I've made. Art house movie? You mean a vampire movie? Or you made it? I'll just say you made it. Wait, you made it? What are you, dense? You've seen me rehearse in my haven. You didn't think I was doing that just for show, did you? I found some filthy rich Manhattan pervs who'll pay a fortune for a convincing vampire cam show. I don't need money, but their IT industry connections gave me an idea. When we give them this memory card, we'll gain access to tech that should allow us to take on my biggest enemy in the city. So your nickname this time is going to be... Oh, a crash. You are momentarily dazed and can't immediately understand what happened. The first thing you know for sure is, if you were still a normal human being, you'd be dead. You play the last few seconds in your head. The other car appeared out of nowhere and crashed into Hope's vehicle at the maximum speed it was able to achieve in its closed-off space. The driver has already managed to kick open the mangled door next to him and stumble out of his seat. Now he wordlessly approaches the trunk and takes a large caliber silenced pistol out of it. Holy shit. He starts approaching the lavender wreck of Hope's car, obviously ready to finish the job that he started. You have to be fast and violent. It's you or him now. Attack the man or outrun his gun. I'll just say attack the man. Your instincts take over. You don't come up with a strategy or an optimal route. You simply start running towards the gunman, yelling. For a split second, he's completely dumbfounded. Then he opens fire. The bullets put a brief stop to your sprint. You're engulfed in pain, your flesh and clothes being shredded to bits. But when his magazine runs out, you're still standing and determined to move forward. He tries to act as quickly as possible, but he can't reload his weapon before you get to him. A tackle, a primal scream, left punch, right punch, left punch, right punch. You return to his cruelty tenfold to his face. When you're done, the head is barely recognizable as human. You stand above the gunman's body, trying to calm yourself and your killer instincts. That's when you hear her voice. Ugh. Hope slithers out of the car and sees you, standing over your assailant. You did pretty good. She approaches the body of the driver you killed and kicks it so she can take a better look at it. Upon seeing the front of the corpse, she lets out an annoyed grunt. Knew it would be this asshole. He's been following us all day, and I know just who he belongs to. Even before she's done talking, she's already trying to reach someone through a video call. Eventually, she succeeds. You see a nonchalant woman in business casual on her smartphone screen. Kara Montgomery, how may I help you? Kara? Hope, didn't expect you would ever reach me through this channel. Have you thought things through? Wait, did something happen? Did something happen? You fucking ghoul. Just tried to kill me. You crazy bitch. That's what fucking happened. So what's a ghoul? I think it's those humans there. A minion created by giving a bit of vampiric vitae to a mortal without draining them of blood first, which would create a vampire instead. Okay. So it's like a slave, basically. Calm yourself, for Christ's sakes. This is a baseless accusation. I know he's from Double Spiral. He's been working at your motherfucking company. Come on. You know I can't held responsible for the independent actions of my subordinates. Why don't we just meet up and talk it over? Hope disconnects the call and instantly blocks Kara from contacting her. You corporate shithead, you make me sick. Tired, she turns her gaze to the dead ghoul. I'll dispose of him. Help me put him in my car. 30 seconds later, his body is laying on the back seat of the lavender-colored wreck. Okay, good. You take a shot at the scene of carnage in front of you. Every second we're here gets us closer to that serious masquerade violation. I'll have to exchange my Palme d'Or worthy masterpiece for the good some other time. She gets behind the wheel and you follow her inside the car. Meet me in the Haven when I tell you it's safe. For now, I need to dump this asshole somewhere, get my car fixed, and plan our counterattack. You guide Hope to your own haven. She drops you off, and before she leaves, she makes what's about to come perfectly clear. If we want to survive in this city, Kara Montgomery needs to die. She disappears into traffic, and you disappear into your place. What do I want to do now? I'm thinking we need a feeding opportunity, so I'm hoping that's going to happen soon. Okay, so Agathon is one more visit to the Chantry of the Five Boroughs, and to Agathon, who's starting to be surrounded by a smell of danger. It's been a while since you heard from D'Angelo. Maybe he's busy sticking his nose where it doesn't belong, or maybe he's pissed off the wrong people and is now rotting in a ditch somewhere. Either way, now's a good time as any to check up on him. Upon returning to your haven, you find a small scrap of paper lying on your windowsill. Need a favor? If you're still up for it, come meet me. I'm going to go with him because last time we had a feeding opportunity with him, and I'm hoping we kind of get another one because the red blood is starting to seep and the beast is going to take over. You make your way through the now familiar rusty maze of the grain terminal and up the stairs to D'Angelo's office. This time, however, you find the room firmly locked. There's a note pinned to the door. You rip it off and scan the crooked lettering. There's been another one at the scene now. Come to Betstui, corner of Pulaski and Garvey, ASAP. Looks like D'Angelo could use your help. Better get going. As you approach the address D'Angelo gave you, a squad car passes you by, sirens blaring. Following it, you make a turn from DeKalb Avenue onto Pulaski Street. Sure enough, the street is awash with red light, and the 4 or so police cars parked on the nearest corner next to an ambulance confirm that you're in the right place. You move closer to what appears to be New York's finest convention, looking around in the hope of spotting a familiar, if not altogether pleasant face. No such luck. True to this Nosferatu lineage, D'Angelo is nowhere to be seen. You stop on the sidewalk across the street, trying not to draw attention to yourself. All of a sudden, one of the cops standing by the entrance to the building looks straight at you. He does a double take, and you instinctively look away. Bad move. You think to yourself as you notice him making his way towards you. Calmly wait for him to approach, start walking away, or make a run for it. I definitely just calmly wait. Not allowing panic to set in, you stand your ground, doing your best ordinary citizen impression. The cop waddles across the street towards you, his sense of authority putting the extra spring in his step. You try to remain calm, even as he puts his hand on his holster. Shit. You can't help but mouth the words. This is about to get messy. Suddenly, he stops, as if instinctively realizing that he was just inches away from a grisly demise. He waves at you dismissively and yells in a thick Brooklyn accent. Hey! This here's an active crime scene. Be on your way. Relieved, but trying not to show it, you put on a your grumpy New Yorker face and start to walk away. As you make your way past the dark alleyway, someone grabs you by the arm and pulls you into the shadows. If the smell of cigars and cheap cologne don't give him away, the gravelly voice sure does. Nice save. I mean, dumb to show your face around here in the first place, but still. Come on, I parked around the corner. Before you know it, you're sitting in the passenger seat of a busted old sedan parked half a block away, giving you a nice view of the police gathering. Seating opportunity, we can take them, let me talk to them, I'll get us in, or do your shadowy, skulky thing. Oh man, I knew there would be a feeding opportunity, but we're talking about cops here. That is definitely not a good idea. Okay, let me talk to them, I'll get us in. Why don't I talk to them? I might convince them to let us in. He gives you a look as if you just let rip a massive fart. Right. Look, kid, it's not that I don't trust you, but how about we give the raw animal magnetism of yours a dry run, huh? Pretend I'm one of the cops guarding the entrance. Convince me to let you in. I'll pose as a detective, I'll pose as a tenant, or I'll just use my powers. I'll pose as a tenant. Evening, officers. I live here. Is there a problem? Yeah, this here is an active crime scene. Be on your way. But, hey, it's your butt against mine. Get lost. Maybe you're right. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Trust me, I'll think of something. Fair enough. Go get him, Tiger. I'll stay close by, just in case things go south. You get out of the car, slamming the door a bit too loudly for your own good. As you cross the street, you already feel like you've made a big mistake. Oh well, too late to turn back now. Might as well give it your best shot. As you approach the cops, your whole body tenses up. It's funny that this would make you nervous considering all you've seen the past few nights, and yet it does. Two officers seem to be engaged in a heated debate regarding last night's Mets game. You stop just a few steps away and open your mouth. Whatever is about to come out, it better be good. Evening, gentlemen. Detective Kowalski. Hey, I live here. Is there a problem? Or make the officers let you in? Let's go with that one. And then just as you're about to weasel your way in their unsuspecting minds, you freeze. One of the cops notices you and gives you a slight nod. Yeah, hey, if you're going in, make sure you stay away from 209, active crime scene, you know? And with that, they get back to arguing whether or not the umpire was bought and paid for, or not. Utterly confused, you piece together what's left of your senses and hurry past them. Inside the building, D'Angelo stands in the hallway dumbfounded. As you open your mouth, he stops you with a gesture. Don't even talk to me right now. In awkward silence, you both make your way up to the second floor. Finding the crime scene proves easy enough. You just follow the yellow police tapes, and before you know it, you're standing in the middle of what used to be some living room. The place has been completely trashed. Knocked over furniture, shattered glass, the works. Looking around, you notice a sign scribbled on a nearby wall. It reads, "His gift, our fate." You're no expert in typography, but the crooked letters look similar to the ones you saw back in Red Hook. Sure enough, there's very little in terms of blood, save the occasional stain that's bound to end up on the carpet once you toss someone through a glass coffee table. D'Angelo leans against the doorway. He seems lost in his thoughts, sucking on his cigar compulsively and mumbling to himself. You lean over a bit, trying not to make it obvious that you're listening in. You manage to catch the last few lines of his monologue. The night's been kind to them so far. The question kept piling. And now, They found themselves amidst the wreckage of another life. It was up to them to sift through the debris and come up with a neat little pile of answers. Suddenly he tenses up, as if sensing your eyes upon him. Feel free to chip in, kid. Anything catch your eye? Another piece of graffiti, no blood, same as before, or this place is a mess? I'd say no blood. No blood, same as before. At least none spilled. So what does that... At least none spilled. So what does that tell us? Sorry, gotta keep up with the voices. Might be kindred where after, or someone cleaned the place up. I definitely see someone clean the place up. And someone took the time to clean up after themselves. No, they didn't. See the stains on the carpet? There's blood, all right. There's just very little of it, all things considered. Probably because most of it ended up in our killer's belly. God damn it, I hate where this is going. Which is why it looks serious. You were right. I'll say which is me being right about thin blood involvement. Anyways, looks like we're not getting any more out of this place. No way around it. We gotta see the body. Is that really necessary? Are you protecting thin bloods, or sure might as well be prudent? So I'd go with sure might as well be prudent. In for a penny, in for a pound, might as well be prudent. My thoughts exactly. The Duskborn have it bad as it is. If I'm gonna accuse one of them of breaching the masquerade, I want solid evidence. And rock fucking solid. Luckily for us, I might know someone who could get us an audience with our dearly departed. To your surprise, he pulls out a cell phone, a busted old clamshell. He flips it open and spends a good minute browsing through the contacts, muttering to himself. Finally, makes a call. Hey, you know who this is? Yeah. A favor you owe me? Time to deliver. Listen. I got you. I know you got a fresh one. The murder in bed, Stewie. I need to take a look. Yes, now. Yeah. You'd better. With that, he hangs up and gives you his trademark wry smile. Aren't cell phones forbidden, or are we good? Let's go with are we good. So, are we good? Yeah, we're good. Next stop, Kings Country. Kings County, the bleeding heart of Brooklyn. It's beating as hard as ever, with an ambulance after ambulance bringing in sick and wounded New Yorkers to be pumped through the tight arteries of the healthcare system. It's a dangerous place for a kindred to show their face, incessantly crowded and full of people who specialize in noticing all sorts of physical afflictions. Especially the sort that makes us very essence of vampire existence, for instance, death. Thankfully, your business here tonight keeps you away from the hectic human hive of the ER. Instead, you follow D'Angelo to a relatively quiet part of the underground parking lot that's closest to your current point of interest, the Kings County morgue. Having found yourself a convenient and suitably unlit spot near the hospital wall, you wait patiently for D'Angelo's contact to appear. Every now and then you glance over at the undead gumshoe, as if to make sure his moldy mug isn't showing any signs of worry. It isn't, or at least he's very good at hiding it. Finally, after 30 minutes or so, a lone figure emerges from a side entrance. As the human-shaped shadow walks by, you're quick to recognize him as the EMT you saw back at the murder site. Clearly nervous, the 20-something-year-old redhead can't seem to help but look back and make sure no one is following him. Finally, he stops and lights up a cigarette, without even looking in your direction. He takes a puff and exclaims, seemingly to no one in particular, "Room 112, you got 20 minutes?" D'Angelo speaks without looking at you. That's our cue. You follow the fanged detective through the same door the EMT walked out of. Luckily, this wing of the hospital seems unusually empty. Still, the confidence with with which D'Angelo makes his way through the white and green corridors makes it clear he's been here before. Finally, he stops in front of the door. Room 112, that's your stop. The room was small, with only one oversized freezer by the wall and a single slab mounted in the center. Sure enough, the body of a middle-aged man is splayed out on its steel surface. Even for a dead man, he seems unnaturally pale. Extreme blood loss will do that to you. Try as you might, you can't help but look at the man's face. His features twisted in abject horror. This was not a peaceful death. Looking closely, you notice 2 small puncture wounds on the victim's neck. If ever there was a clearer sign of vampire attacks, you've yet to see it. Looking over at D'Angelo, you notice his lips moving in familiar fashion. He's narrating again. Before he can utter an intelligible word, you cut in with a remark. Stuck to dry just like the last one? Are those teeth marks? Or look at his face? I'd say, are those teeth marks? Those marks on his neck, is that what I think it is? Yep, good eyes, kid. It's official. Our killer is kindred. Look at his face, though. Sheer terror. He was fully aware all the way through, killing aside. No kindred worth their salt would allow that to happen. Unless they didn't even know better. This confirms it. We're looking for it, then blood. Fuck. As if on cue, the door swings open. A tired-looking man with a stethoscope around his neck walks in. With his eyes fixed on his clipboard, he doesn't appear to notice you. Yet. Feeding opportunity. Get him. Let's do it. Letting your instincts take over, you pounce on the unsuspecting doctor, plunging your fangs into his aorta. The precious liquid tastes sickeningly sweet, making you feel a bit lightheaded. It appears the good doctor has been getting high on his own supply. It takes you a moment to get your fill, but when you're finally done, you immediately feel D'Angelo's eye upon you. You start coming up with an excuse, but he just smirks. You're quick, kid. I'll give you that. Beat me to it by a poop. Now, come on. Let's get out of here. Time to pay our dear Primogen another visit. Robert Larson's home looks about the same as last time. No added security, no angry dogs prowling the yard. So see, I'm glad I took that feeding opportunity because honestly, we were getting pretty dark around there. It appears that the thin-blood Primogen would rather risk another visit from his old pal D'Angelo than to arouse suspicion of his family and neighbors. Which is good considering that's what he's about to get. Sure enough, the light in Larson's study is on, and you even catch a glimpse of the man himself shuffling around the room. You look over to D'Angelo, wondering how you're going to get Larson's attention this time. Without a single word, D'Angelo walks over to a nearby street lamp and leans against it, making sure he's visible to any and all who happen to look. Looks like time for subtlety is over. It only takes a couple minutes for Larson to take notice. You see him lean against the window and storm out of the room. In mere seconds, he's out in front in D'Angelo's face. Listen to me, you moldy fuck. You have just about enough of your shit. You want to pester me? Fine, but leave my family out of it. For a moment, D'Angelo just stands there, motionless, allowing Larson to get his frustration out. Suddenly, he grabs a thin blonde by the collar, lifts him off the ground, and smashes him back against the lamppost. Are you finished? All right. Now, you listen to me, and listen good. You think I'm enjoying this? You think I like to be jerked around? You think I got nothing better to do than hang around this little puppet theater you've made for yourself? Now, either you give me a lead I can follow, or I'll start remembering things you'd rather forget. For the first time since you met him, Larson looks speechless, his eyes wide with fear. He can only mutter underneath his breath. You wouldn't dare try me. Cue awkward silence. You stand there, shifting your eyes from one vampire to the other, guessing it's time to either press the advantage or play the good cop. Come on, Larson, spit it out. Take it easy, D'Angelo, or let's all just calm down. Yeah, I'm a Bruja, so it's definitely the first one. Come on, Larson, spit it out. Come on, Larson, just give us something. It's been a rough night. See, Robert, my assistant here, is tired of you shit, too. So, what's it gonna be? If you want my help, put me the fuck down. With his feet back on the ground, Larson straightens his collar and in a faint attempt at preserving some shred of dignity. There's a place in Manhattan, Lower East Side. One of the few places of the city where my people can't find shelter. Yeah, I know it. If you go there right now, you might find what you're looking for. D'Angelo stares at him for a moment, just long enough to make it uncomfortable. We'd better. Finally, D'Angelo loosens his grip. You both watch Larson limp back to his house, looking back over his shoulder like he's going to tell the teachers on you. You look to your partner, meaning to ask what that whole thing you'd rather forget deal was. As if sensing your curiosity, D'Angelo cuts in with a preemptive mutter. Come on, we got what we came for. As you reach the address Larson gave you, you find yourself standing in front of what looks like an old garage. On the outside, the place looks as uninteresting as it gets. You'd think it's abandoned, if not for the few barely working lights illuminating its shabby facade. Once you're inside, however, if ever there was a place worthy of being called a wretched hive of scum and villainy, this is probably it. The room is littered with drunks and crackheads, humans and thin blood alike. Their minds lost in their cruel little worlds, their bodies sprayed out across the floor. D'Angelo leans over and whispers in your ear. I'll cover the back door, you steer near the front. Let's look around and see what we can find. Before you can ask what exactly you're supposed to be looking for, D'Angelo disappears into the shadows. Look around quietly or try to flush the killer out. We're not sure what we're looking for, but let's go with try to flush the killer out. Opting for the direct approach, you stand in the very center of the room and loudly address everyone inside. Excuse me. Yeah, if anyone here has killed a human in the last, say, 24 hours, could you please raise your hand? Thank you. For the most part, it barely even registers. A few drunks raise their head and gives you a confused look. Oh well, it was worth a shot. And then you notice sudden movement in the corner of the room. A tiny shadow slithers its way towards the back door. Luckily, D'Angelo is there to catch it. The catch turns out to be a young woman, skinny, almost emaciated. She gives you a bewildered look as D'Angelo gently sits her down on the floor. He kneels down beside her. You can tell he's trying to sound as comforting as possible, but with his gravelly timbre, it's not really working out. Hey, it's okay. We're not here to hurt you. We just want to talk. No, don't talk. Too loud. Too loud. She seems halfway out of it. It's like the lights are on, but whoever inside is stumbling around after one hell of a bender. Alright. You like quiet. Got it. Can you tell me your name? Sana. That's what he called me. Suddenly you hear the door swing open behind you. Even though the night is fairly warm, a cold chill runs down your spine. You look towards the entrance. There is a woman standing there, and something about her just screams kindred. Even though she seems comically overdressed for the situation somehow, you don't feel like cracking a smile. Whoever she is, you can tell she means business. She starts making her way to the back of the room, not making any efforts to sidestep any of the junkies and drunks. They all know well enough to get out of her way. Acting out of bravery or sheer stupidity, you walk up to her. She looks at you as if you were something she just scraped off her shoes. You smile nervously without even knowing it. Hello there, and who might you be? Hey, what's a girl like you doing in a place like this? Hold it, what's your business here? I'd go with number 2. Hey. As soon as you open your mouth, her hand shoots out, grabbing you by the throat. Okay. The woman looks at you, tilting her head as if examining a curious species of insect. Suddenly, her eyes shift as she notices something behind you. Her face turns from disgusting curiosity to sheer annoyance. You. Hey Val, that's my assistant you got there. Do you mind? She rolls her eyes. You feel the grip of your neck loosen, and you awkwardly fall to your feet. She makes her way downward towards D'Angelo, pushing you aside like a rag doll. Where is she? You're gonna have to be a bit more specific, darling. Don't play coy, Guinea. This manslayer. I know she's here. A blood hunt has begun. By order of the prince herself, this girl is to meet her final death. So blood hunt means a punishment sentencing a vampire to final death at the fang of their peers. The code of the kindred and the system of punishing transgression in the law of retaliation. Hold your horses, honey. I'm conducting an investigation under the auspices of the sheriff. Thanks. That counts for something, too. Look, sweetie, I'm not here for some clit measuring contest. You want to get ugly? Be my guest. Otherwise, I suggest you step aside and let me do my job. By all means. He steps aside in a comically exaggerated fashion. You look at the corner where you last saw Sana, but find no trace of the girl. Well, I could swear she was just here. Valerie looks at D'Angelo. She smiles softly, but you can tell she's trying very hard not to rip his head off. You'll regret this. Story of my life. Without another word, she turns on her heel and storms out. D'Angelo waves his hand in your general direction. Come on, kid. Let's get out of this shithole. As you emerge from said shithole, you feel the cool night breeze caress your face. It's soothing and almost makes you forget how shitty the last few hours have been. Almost. Okay, kid. I now know you've got questions, but it's getting early and I don't feel like having a Q&A session right now. For now, you get one question. Make it count. So we have 3 questions. Who the hell is this Valerie? Do you know where the girl went? Or what do we do now? I'd go with, do you know where the girl went? It's so hard to believe this girl is our killer. Do you know where she ran off to? Not sure, but I might have some idea. The important thing is, we know who we're looking for. Too bad Valerie knows it too. She's a scourge, kid. Part enforcer, part assassin. All around pain in the ass. We'll be seeing more of her. You can bet on that. So a scourge is an executor, subordinate directly to the prince. And before you ask, yes, we've run into each other in the past. No, I don't feel like talking about it. Alright, kid. I don't know about you, but I'm turning in. I'll figure some stuff out and keep looking for our girl. Feel free to swing by the office in a night or 2. And with that, he stumbles off into the distance, not even bothering to keep the shadows. Can't say you blame him. I really had been a rough night. You come back to your haven after a long night out. Right before you open the door, you notice something strange. The sounds of televisions are coming from your apartment. Madmen, if you're not mistaken. You open the door and carefully peek in. A young, disheveled woman is curled up on your sofa. She has a blanket pulled on top of her and seems very comfortable. Next to her lies an obviously unconscious, preppy woman. Oh, that's a stalker. Oh, you're home. The woman reaches for the remote and puts Mad Men on pause. You weren't home, so I started without you. You know, Netflix and chill. Join me. There's space on the sofa. I brought us a snack. You didn't enjoy the one I gave you before, but this is a different type. The woman points lazily at the unconscious girl. Oh, I forgot. My name is Adelaide. Adelaide Davis. I like you a lot. Help yourself and settle in. Let her down gently, feeding opportunity, Netflix and chill, ask her to leave, or kick her out. Let's just ask her to leave. Please go. I don't want you to be here. Adelaide bounces up from the sofa with surprising energy. I got to all this trouble and this is the thanks I get? I could get angry from being treated like this. For a second, Adelaide's words worry you, but then you notice a playful glint in her eyes. You're playing hard to get. It's adorable. Just please go. Do you want money or I'm not playing hard to get? I'll just say just please go. Just please go. You're cute when you're serious. This is fun. You should really get mad at me. The door to your apartment opens. Someone with a key. Sophie. Adelaide Davis, the scourge of Snug Harbor, in the flesh. This is a new low for you, fledgling. Adelaide looks at Sophie murderously before fading from view. I hate it when they disappear. They should have enough manners to slink away in embarrassment so we can all enjoy it. Sophie waits for the door of the apartment to close before she speaks. The Clan of the Moon. Did I not advise caution when dealing with them? As you watch Sophie make a phone call, 10 minutes later, 2 of her servants arrive to remove the unconscious girl sprawled on your sofa. You clearly need my help. It won't happen tonight, but let me see if I can resolve your stalker problem for real. You're left to wonder what Sophie meant by that as she leaves your haven. Sophie requests your presence tonight, and it seems urgent. You find her already waiting for you and clearly pondering something. It takes a few minutes of awkward silence before she speaks. I require your assistance, Jack. There is a matter of great importance that I need to ask you to resolve for me. You will find what I'm about to say surprising, I'm sure, but I need you to hear me out. I need you to contact an important anarch figure in New York City and arrange a meeting for us. Aren't meeting with anarchs forbidden? 2, I'll be setting a trap, right? Or 3, what business do you have meeting our anarchs? I'd say I'll be setting a trap, right? That meeting, it's a trap, right? You need me to set it up so you can deal a blow to them? No, not immediately anyways. I intend to meet with them in good faith. I realize how ridiculous that may sound to you. You'll find that with this, as with many other things, the Camarilla policies have more than their share of hypocrisy inherent in them. It comes hand in hand with using medieval power structures. What we are forbidden to do, the prince may do willingly. Some of these things can be done in the open, while others are kept secret as to not invite discord and discontent. I need to contact a man named Torque. He is an influential member of the movement and, like most of them, very suspicious of the Camarilla. That's why I'm sending you to extend my invitation. How do I know he'll talk to me? Why me? Why not go yourself? Or what are you scheming? What are you scheming? Sophie, say I arrange the meeting. What next? I have something to offer Torque, a chance to set things straight, both for the Anarchs and for us, especially for us. From my limited source adjacent to the movement, I've gathered that your best chance to speak to Torque is to first meet with his right-hand woman, Mia. She's a regular at a club called the Leech Pit. I think it would be best if you presented yourself as an Anarch hopeful, a fledgling looking for a place of belonging. Only after you talk to Torque directly should you mention my name and the meeting. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know, it sounds risky, or lying to them will make them trust me. I'd go with the third one. I don't think that's the right approach. Lying to them will make them trust me. When they find out the truth, they won't be happy or eager to work with us. That might be true, but if you tell Mia outright that I sent you, she'll likely cut you off. She hates our sect, and it will be difficult to make her listen to reason. After tonight, I suggest that we do not speak of this again until you arrange the meeting. There are many who would jump at the chance to use this against us. With Kaiser, you have proven you can get the job done, even if it requires additional legwork. I trust you to deal with this task as quickly and covertly as possible. Forgive me, but that's all the time I can spare tonight. What I'm asking of you is just part of a bigger whole. Trust me, it will all be worth it. I'll do my best. It better be I'm risking my neck here, or I haven't agreed to this yet. I haven't agreed to this yet, you know. She gives you the coldest, most sinister look that you've ever seen. You suddenly feel small and insignificant under her gaze, like a worm deserving to be crushed. If I cannot depend on you, then what good are you to me? I thought we had an understanding, Jack. It will be very disappointed if that's not the case. The feeling fades, her half-smile returns, like the sun appearing from behind the clouds. Sophie's anger gone as quickly as it had appeared. Check with Gregory from the address of the Torque Leech Pit. Have Mia introduce you to Torque. When she does, tell him I wish to meet. Let him pick the time and place, but let it be soon. If he proves too guarded, tell him I have something that will help him gather allies against Boss Callahan. That should pique his interest. Good luck, and obviously, not a word about this to anyone else, not even any new friends you might have made in recent nights. This stays between us. The way she says that final sentence suggests a not-so-veiled threat, but her warm smile belies that impression. You want her to keep trusting you. You wouldn't want to disappoint her. Speak for yourself. Ha ha ha. Gregory gives you the address. The club is in Brooklyn. Apparently, it's some kind of heavy metal bar with a dedicated concert space. Time to pay this Mia a visit. The place is seemingly with people tonight. You arrive in the middle of a concert. The music is loud, almost deafening, and it takes you a while to get used to it. You recognize a phrase or two of the lyrics and realize that you know the song they're playing. A poster confirms your suspicion. It's a Life of Agony tribute band, and they're not half bad. A group of a few dozen patrons are tightly packed together, and the smell of their sweat and yet youthful, excited blood overwhelms you momentarily. It's with some difficulty that you turn to the task at hand. You've heard your share of the Anarchs, but how they fit into kindred politics? But you only have your short encounter in Corona Park on which to base your actual opinion of the faction. That might have been just a horrible first impression, but you're keeping your guard up just in case. Mingle with the crowd or ask for me at the bar. Hey Lord G6, welcome back! So we are currently looking to speak with the Anarch, and we're searching for Mia. I've always been kind of straight to the point, so let's just ask for Mia. You start at the bar. Mia was supposed to be a regular. Might as well check how true that is. The bartender turns to you after she pours a line of drinks for a group of rowdy patrons. What can I get you? Have you seen Mia tonight? I'm looking for a girl called Mia, or any chance your name is Mia. I'll just say, have you seen Mia tonight? Hey, have you seen Mia tonight? Depends on who's asking. She gives you a sly smile. What do you want with her? Heard she has connections. I wanted to meet a local legend, or I heard she's hot. I wanted to meet a local legend. I just wanted to meet her. She's kind of a local legend. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Go to where the crowd is. She's a small girl in the big jacket. Have fun. She winks at you. You approach the woman the bartender indicated as the band takes a break. Heard you're into anarchy? I'm new to being dead, or I want to learn about the anarchy. Just I want to learn. I'm interested in learning about the anarchy. You wouldn't happen to have some first-hand experience, would you? Seriously? That's the best line you came up with? She doesn't smile, but she doesn't hate you either. Follow me behind the bar. She leads you through the bar to a back door that leads into the side room. Indie metal band posters are plastered on every wall, some of them 20 or more years old, judging from the tour dates. An old sticky table and some rickety chairs are the only pieces of furniture there. Sit down. Sure, I think I'm uncomfortable, or why don't you sit down? I'll just say sure. Sure. You take a seat as the woman leans against one of the walls. The name's Mia. I'm guessing your visit here isn't a happy coincidence. I don't know you, so you're either new in New York or kept an outstandingly low profile. Both sound suspect, so before we take these pleasantries further, answer me this. Who do you run with? Camarilla, but I'm looking to switch. Camarilla, I guess, but I'm looking to switch. Is that so? She looks up and down. It's hard to read her. Hey, it's Joker time! Hi! I hope you're doing great. Okay, sure, I'll bite, but let's get one thing out of the way. She leans in. If this is some clever ploy to oust me from my domain, if you're just here to spy on me and the movement, I'll make sure that you don't enjoy undeath much longer. Got it? You can tell it's a purely rhetorical question. Right, here's the pitch. The Camarilla likes to think they're the vanilla option. What with Prince Bitch Panard pretending that they were always in charge, but New York has never been a fully cami city. Oui, on va super bien. Merci beaucoup, Joker Time. Je suis contente que tu nous demandes ça. En fait, mon fils revient ce soir, fait que c'est comme une semaine que je l'ai pas vu. J'ai fait l'heure d'y voir la bête, là. They might have won the city in '99, but Carms have had their asses handed to them many times over the years, and the movement has been here at least as long as they have. Hell, I moved to New York City before World War II, and that was a good while after I saw the Camarilla for what they are, a way to keep us all subservient and in line. The Ivory Tower will tell you they're the only safeguard for the traditions, and that's kind of a problem. So the Ivory Tower is another name for the Camarilla. There's only one tradition we in the movement feel should be respected, the masquerade, obviously. Everything else, ask the prince, and she'll tell you it's the logical continuation of the masquerade, but really it's just a way to keep the elders powerful and in control. She grimaces. But here's the thing, for all talk of us bloodsuckers being solitary creatures, We need a common community to keep up the masquerade. Community, yes, but authority, not so much. We need a council of peers to keep the assholes of power-drunk fledglings in check, but not a feudal prince to tell you where to feed or who to hunt down when they step on our toes. She takes a brief break from her indignant rant. So you anarchs don't have a ruler? Sounds too good to be true, or structure is good, it brings order? Sounds too good to be true would be my answer. That sounds too good to be true. Mia bares her teeth in a predatory smile. You better believe it. Sure, we still have to struggle with the urges of our kinds, but it's safer and more fair. We're as free as our condition permits, but unlike Autarchus, we don't stand alone. So Autarchus is the unbounded, vampires who remain outside the large kindred society of a given city either by ignorance or choice, usually considered anarchs by members of the Camarilla, though most unbound have nothing to do with the movement. Nominally, a guy by the name of Callahan has been overseeing the movement's agenda in New York City for the past few decades. Most follow his lead. So should I talk to Callahan? Most, but not you. Is Callahan like an anarch prince? I'd say, so I should talk to Callahan? So, what you're saying is I should talk to Callahan. No, I'm saying you should talk to somebody else. If you're concerned about being well received in the city, you might not need to go through Callahan. But if you're serious about the anarch cause itself, he's not your guy. Callahan eats up fledglings like you and shits out self-preservation. His position as Baron is mighty shaky now, not least due to the fact he's backstabbed more than his share of allies. So Baron is, at its most basic, a Baron is a strong anarch who controls territory and wields authority over those living in it. One of the most common types of Barons is a lick who has a city neighborhood or even just a building. The other common type is a Baron who attempts to control an entire city on his own, a local strongman. He behaves suspiciously like a Camarilla prince. I agree, it really sounds like the same thing. So he's doing what any other old farts in his position of power would do. He's doubling down. Negotiations are out, intimidation is in, tightening ranks as a precaution against the Second Inquisition. She surprises you by hacking and spitting on the ground in disgust. If you spend some time with the Cams, that should sound very familiar to you. He's no better than Panard and her cronies are at his point. No, you need to contact Torque. And wouldn't you know it, it's your lucky night, because I'm the lick to do it through. Why Torque? How is Torque different? And why can't I just meet him? So I'd go with why Torque. Torque, huh? Why him? Because he's one of the good guys, or at least as good as we leeches can be. Torque is the leader, a local baron who's overseeing a small domain, but doing a very good job of it. Callahan knows this, so he's giving him shit. Torque is taking it like a champ. He's smart like that. For one of us rebels, he's got the patience of the saints. Makes you think back to how things used to be, way back when, in the stories, are to be believed. Anyway, you want to meet him? I'm going to require a show of goodwill first. What do you have in mind? Or I can just ask elsewhere? No way. I'll go with what do you have in mind. That's fair. What do you have in mind? She flashes you a mischievous half-smile. I appreciate your readiness, but I don't have the details just now. Ask for me at the bar when you're able. I'll leave something for you, and we'll take it from there. Now come on, I gotta go. She walks you out of the bar and you go on separate ways. Seems like there's nothing more to do than return here later and see if Mia really can help your contact tour. So, we've hella progressed today. That much I can say. We have our third visit to Judah Agathon that's left. A third one for the nosy reporter, which apparently seems to be coming back nonstop and really annoying. A third one with Hope. We are about to... Yeah, he's nosy. He's definitely really, really nosy. A third visit with D'Angelo. Somebody's watching part 3. There's only this one that we didn't get to the second part yet, which is Tam. But I'm looking at the time right now, and I think I need to keep all of this for next time. We have madly progressed, though. I'm kind of like into... Like, what I'm thinking about this is that I'm not sure what direction we're going with when it comes to the Anarch part and why Sophie wants to see him. But I'm guessing it has something to do with the reason why... I don't know, I keep remembering the beginning of this game where they have someone come, although that person could have been the person that showed up that owed the favor in the beginning to the guy that was standing there in the dark. Could have been the girl that sired us. That's my guess of that anyways. So, you've had enough of Adelaide Davis. It's time to head for the Elysium and confront her with Sophie by your side. As you leave your haven, a homeless man bumps into you. You turn after him, but he blends into the crowd before you can even get a good look at his face. Instinctively, you check your pocket, a note. Looking at Metna Bridge, come over D. I don't know. There's just so much. Car wants to meet. Yeah, so... Manhattan Bridge. Oh, thank you for that. Because honestly, I was like, what? I mean, at that point, they could have just, like, spelled it completely out, right? Manhattan. Anyways, I'm just saying. I was like, what the frig is that? Yeah. But I mean... Just put the, yeah, exactly. Just put the A's. I mean, how lazy can you guys be? You already did, like, this huge paragraph of text, right? Maybe they had, like, a maximum space of characters. But, yeah, there's, like, so much going on. I don't think we're going to be seeing the religious thing again, because I think we kind of shut that off. We were Izzy. Yeah. Lazy without the A. Exactly. We were lazy. That is funny. That reporter is so annoying. I was sure he wouldn't show up that time. Like, I would kill him. That's what I would do. The second part of Hope's story was interesting. The part that I found the most interesting, although, was in the end when you rush towards the guy and he's like, you know, shooting at you and you, well, beat him to death. Well, practically. Not complete death, but mostly. I kind of like that. I like the first part of Hope better, though. She was a little more crazy, which I found was awesome. Can't wait to see the rest of Agathon as well. I mean, All these storylines are super interesting. The one with Tam is the next one that I'm really intrigued about. So I think next time, next Sunday, we're going to start with Tam. And then we're going to continue going through these other here. And find out what happens with the Anarch and why we're meeting up with them or why Sophie wants them. But again, I feel like maybe the beginning has part of to do with that, because at one point the person says, or were they talking about their sire ended up dead, or the person that was taking care of us died. I don't know, like I feel there's something going on there. Anyways, I really appreciate everyone who was here. Thank you so much. I hope everyone had a fun time. I know I did. Read a lot more faster today through it, instead of like doing the decisions and all that. I just kind of led it today. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. So I will say goodbye to you guys. But before that, I'm just going to check out, see if there's someone that we can raid. I actually don't have anyone that I know that's live online, so if you guys have any suggestions, I'd be open to that. Also, shout out to Lord G6 that is there. Please check him out. He is amazing. And his beautiful mod, It's Joker Time, as well, is with us. Lady Cliss that has passed by. I don't know if you're still lurking and listening, but it was so fun that you were here with us. Not many people online on your side either today. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna kind of get off then, because I don't know. I don't want to send anyone in an area that I don't really know what it's about. So to Jamie, oh, thank you, Joker Time. Mais c'est vrai, see? Yeah, so next Saturday, I don't know if you guys listened yesterday in Subnautica. I've basically caught up to where I was when I started the freedom mode. So that being said, next week I'm going to be doing a creative mode where we can just do like crazy stuff and, you know, basically whatever you would want. I'll try to create it. If you guys want me to explore certain areas, we're going to go. I know there was a red tablet and a white tablet that I have absolutely no idea what that was for. And I think I'm going to look it up and try to find out in creative mode. We can figure that out together. So it would be parts that we may have never seen. I don't want to do it in survival because I don't know how dangerous it's going to be. So creative would definitely be awesome. And I've also been wanting to explore, like, trying to do vertical stuff, trying to get, like, let's say a tower outside of the water, stuff like that, you know? So, or in really crazy areas that might have maybe, you know, ghost leviathans and stuff like that. So I think it would be an interesting stream. However, the survival one, I'm not going to completely stop it, but what I will do is I will progress it. So I wasn't done my habitat, so maybe while I'm offline I might work on it a little more, progress it a little, and just kind of show you so that it's just like the perfect ending to the survival part. And the week after that, we are going to be starting Subnautica Below Zero, which is the new, well, not the new one, but the second one of Subnautica. So I'm really excited to playing that one, and I hope you guys will be excited as well. So that being said, I will wish you guys a beautiful night, and I hope you enjoyed your weekend. It was absolutely a beautiful weekend. We had so much fun yesterday. Today was pretty relaxing, and you guys have a great night. So see you guys next Saturday, or, well, Lord G6 this week. Bye!